Hello and welcome, everyone, to X1 Bros. This is podcast number 6. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. As always, this is the best Xbox One podcast on the internet right now. We are all Xbox One all the time. Xbox One, we heart you. As always, I am joined by the man that, just like Pringles, once he pops, the fun don't stop. It's Mr. McSpicy.
Hey,
Mark
yeah.
Haywood.
Well, I actually like Pringles, so why is everything, like, all my intros have to do with food? Is it because I'm the fat guy in the group, or what? So, no, yeah. Well, it's good to be here. Thanks, David.
It's because you're just so edible.
Well, thank you. Yeah, awesome.
We are
Thank
also
you. And I
joined.
love Pringles. So.
Yeah. We are also joined, as always, by the man that likes his games the same way he likes his women, cheap and fun, rad like my dad, Mark Ashley.
No comment.
He is our deal guy. He looks for the deals, he gets the deals, he loves the deals.
I'm a deal person.
Yes.
All right, cool.
We are also joined, as always, by the man who works on cars, then frolics through the golden meadows with puppies nipping at his heels. He's strong and sensitive. Jordan Faskett.
Hello.
Jordan, always the articulate man of the hour, too.
Strong and sensitive, too. That's pretty awesome.
He is.
A heartthrob is what you are.
No, man. It's true, he is. And with that, let's get to our fantastic show this week. And that brings us to the news. Jordan, what is going on in the world that is Xbox One this week?
Well, first thing is ID at Xbox developers get the Unreal Engine for the Xbox One. They get to develop on it. That's the independent developers at Xbox. It's Xbox's ID at Xbox is Xbox One's program to help indie developers basically become awesome.
Awesome.
So,
Okay.
and they are now allowing them to use the Unreal Engine 4 for Xbox development.
Sweet.
which
What's the most recent game that has used that engine? Anyone know?
I have no idea. I don't even think there's a game out yet that's
What does
used it.
Gears of War use?
Unreal 3.
Oh, Unreal 3. Oh, so
Yeah.
no game has really used Unreal 4. Cool.
Yeah, they do have trailers on YouTube if you want to look it up. It's a pretty sweet looking engine. So
Sweet. We will put that in the show notes then.
yeah.
You're a pretty good-looking engine. Too.
And he's sweet and
All right.
sensitive.
GameStop is closing 120 stores.
Wow.
Paul Raines, the CEO of GameStop, gave a presentation at the I think it's GameStop's 2014 Investors Day, revealing his plan that he calls GameStop 3.0. So from what it sounds like, they actually did mention they're going to go towards mobile, whatever that means. That's just what they said. So
mobile?
I don't know if,
They're moving
yeah,
mobile,
if they're gonna
huh?
move in mobile, yeah. But they do have they have much more. I mean, 120 stores is nothing compared to the total that they have. But 120 stores will be closing because of this new plan that the CEO Paul Raines has. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes.
I don't know what going mobile mean. That's kind of a broad term, but
They're going to
Yeah,
travel
so-
to you when you need something.
yeah, delivery.
Yeah, I guess.
Our brothers and sisters over in Japan will be getting the Xbox pretty soon.
Woohoo!
They'll be
Konnichiwa!
able to join us, yeah.
Woohoo!
Xbox One releases in Japan on September 4th.
Oh, nice.
Pretty
So-
soon. So pretty soon equals what? 6 months? 5 months?
Hey, at least we got a number.
Yeah.
Doesn't time go by faster in Japan? I think. it
Yeah,
goes
they're
by
already a
faster.
day ahead of us, so it's like they're closer to it. Anyway, so it'll be fun to play with those guys. The 5 people in Japan that'll probably buy an Xbox One.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, all right. One thing I'm really excited for is Destiny. It revamped its website this week, or either just tail end of last week, beginning of this week. They revamped their website. It looks really good. There's 3 videos on each class. There's 3 classes, and they have a little trailer video on each class. The Titan, Warlock, and Hunter. It looks pretty cool. The game is set to release September 9th, 2014, and if you pre-order it, you'll get the beta this summer. I've already pre-ordered it, and am waiting for the beta.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm a Bungie fan.
I
so
saw the video. It looks like they're going for like the Holy Trinity powers, basically, that are typical in MMOs. No.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to call it an MMO. They've been really. I think of it as kind of glorified co-op, if that makes sense. Not
okay.
quite MMO. But if anybody ever played well, we can talk about it in the discussion session. Next on the news.
Let's bang these out. Bang them out quick.
Next on the news, we all saw this the other day. Evolve gameplay video 4 versus 1 was released this week on YouTube and their website. If you guys want to go check that out, it looks really cool. I liked it a
Yeah,
lot.
the gameplay looked unique. I don't think I've seen a multiplayer like that. Like Jordan, you said earlier, I think it looks a lot like it kind of has the vibe of Left 4 Dead kind of
Yes.
multiplayer. But yeah, anyways, we can discuss that later
and
too.
cooperative. Look, I mean, the
Yeah,
way that you
they,
cooperate is what's unique too. I think, right?
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
it's an awesome video.
it's a 4 versus 1 co-op, so 4 humans versus 1 monster. Go check it out on YouTube, or we can link it in the show notes. It's pretty cool. Dragon Age Inquisition has a release date now. It is releasing October 7th, 2014, and they have a new trailer up, which I suggest checking out, and we'll link in the show notes because it is one of the best trailers I've seen. It's pretty awesome. So it makes me excited. Fable Legends has also released screenshots this year of their new graphics engine and what the game will look like. So that's the new Fable game coming out. For those of you who don't know, it's what it is. It's kind of a 5 versus 1 or 4 versus 1. I don't know the number, but there's X amount of heroes versus 1 villain, and you can actually play as the villain. So it's kind of a cool concept.
Wow.
But they have 5 new screenshots out on their website, and they look pretty good. So. Anyway, next on the news, Titan DLC Expedition also has new screenshots of the map.
Yeah, it looks
It's pretty
interesting.
cool.
It looks
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty
completely
cool.
different than what they've done so far. I think so.
For those of you that the map that they're showing off right now is called War Games. For those of you that played Titanfall, they say it's a mixture of Angel City at night, Rise, and then what was the third map they said it looked like? I don't know. It's a combination of those 2 maps with like a training grounds type of map. It looks pretty cool.
Wow.
And
Cool.
they say it's a parkour playground.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite part of the game.
I've seen they show details on their maps of like where people run the most, and then they show it in the new map, and it's pretty cool. So they say it's going to be a parkour playground, this DLC. Also in this DLC, we've probably mentioned this before, but might as well mention it again. It's coming out next month. It's going to have 3 maps. One, the War Games. It's going to have another map called Runoff, and then a third map called Swamplands. And then Titanfall is also working on the 2 versus 2.
Oh,
Last Titan
that will
Standing.
be
Last
fun.
Titan,
That'll
yeah.
be sweet. 2 versus 2.
All right, and for our Peggle fans out there,
Peggle!
DE,
Pop
sweet.
cap!
So, it's called the Wind Fury DLC. It comes with 10 new levels, 10 new trials, 3 new costumes, 3 achievements, and 30 objectives, all for a whopping $1.99.
And a
So-
new character, a new hero.
A new character called the Wind Fury
Yeah.
or Wind Fairy, something like that. So
Yeah, I almost downloaded that right before this show.
not
To
bad
try it out.
for $2. So
Yeah.
all right, another big news thing. I thought I'd end with this because this is pretty cool. I know a lot of our fans will like this. Minecraft Xbox 360 Edition has been confirmed. The Xbox 360 Edition will save transfer to the Xbox One Edition.
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Everything you've done and saved on Xbox 360
That's
will
a good move.
That is
Xbox.
really good. Because isn't that the number one selling game on the Xbox 360?
Dude, yeah, I don't know
And
how.
so
but
that's smart to just, hey, come over to the Xbox
Come on, no,
One.
no, no, yeah.
So
it's actually a really fun game. I have it for the computer, but yeah.
It's a really it's almost too fun, even though it's like, in my opinion, it feels kind of pointless building a cabin, but you really want to build that house, you know? It's a different kind of game.
you really want to craft those tools.
And I gotta make that bed. Oh my gosh, I gotta make the furnace so I can get all my lava bucket up there so I can.
Dude, please don't let me get that game.
Yeah,
Don't let
you
me
would-
get it at all.
Yeah, for those of you
I
that have
will
the 360
not have
version,
a
all
life.
your save transfers and characters and everything will move right up to the Xbox One edition.
Wow, that's cool.
I don't know when the release date is, but when it comes out, that'll be there for you.
That's cool.
And our man Phil Spencer tweeted that just last night. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Big PS.
and that's it for the news this week.
Awesome. Thank you much. Thank you much. Anyone else have any news items that they'd like to share before we move on?
Did we talk about Rise's new DLC pack
No.
for the Coliseum mode? I just see it on here right now.
the
Duel of
Coliseum
Fates.
Is it a multiplayer DLC? I haven't heard anything. So
Yeah,
you'll
all
have
of
to
Rise
explain-
is
All of Rise
yeah.
is multiplayer DLC.
Okay,
It's just
well,
a new Horde map, Barbarous, and Invictus, and then new survival map, Island, 2 new skins, and revamping of several maps for solo mode. So
Oh.
there you go. And it's out now.
Cool beans.
What's the price on that? $9.99.
I have no clue.
Did Rise have a season pass too? I know most
Yeah,
games
it
are
had a
doing
season
that.
pass.
Oh, okay. What was it? 25, the same as
Something like that. Yeah,
Standard,
they're
yeah.
usually like $20 or $30. You can still buy it if you want, and then
Yeah.
you'll just automatically. get all
I really
saves.
wish they would have done stories in that. But anyways, let's move on to our brand new segment. Hope you guys enjoy. All of you who seek deals and cheap games, this is for you. Here we go.
Saving the day and your wallet.
wow, nice.
Well, I guess that's me, huh? Okay,
Yep.
we're going to start off with Best Buy. They have, and Mark, you're going to like this one, or you may not like this one. The Turtle Beach Titanfall Air Force Atlas headset is $119.99 this
no,
week.
I'm okay with that. I kind of want that headset to be cheaper. I don't think it's worth the 150. For those watching. That's the headset I'm wearing right now. I think it was overpriced, honestly. So I think.
So
that's a better
what was
presentation.
it? What was it? 149?
149.
Oh, okay.
Sadly,
149.
that's just until the end of Saturday night, though. That's just on their weekly deals. They also have Zumba Fitness World Party for $39.99, which was $49.99, so you save $10.
Sounds like I gotta get my Zumba on.
Yeah, no kidding. Woo! And it's a world party, so you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. Walmart has Tomb Raider for $42.11 online. And I think Amazon actually has that at the same price. And then Amazon has the Xbox One headset for $71.89, so you're saving $8, something like that. But hey, it looks nicer when it's 71 instead of 79.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Titanfall at Amazon is $44.79 this week.
Whoa,
Call
is
it-
that for the is that for the Xbox One or the PC?
The Xbox One.
Wow.
Yes.
So what is that? A $15 savings?
Yeah.
Well, it's
I wouldn't. I didn't think that game would have a price
16.
drop for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty Ghosts, for all you Ghost fans, is $35 on Amazon. And then we got FIFA Soccer 14, which I kind of want to get, is $36.99. And then Battlefield 4 is $40.88. And those last ones are at Amazon. And
A lot of
that's
price drops, yeah.
that's what we got right now. Oh, actually, and then GameFly. If you haven't heard of GameFly, go check it out. GameFly has Rise used for $29.99, and I kind of want to get that one too. But that's all we got for that.
Nice. All right. So some good deals. Check those out, guys. If you want to purchase those, and play some
And
more
save
games.
money like me.
Yeah, really.
That's enough, the both of you.
Oh man, it's time! It's time to talk about what we've been playing. As always, we start with Mark Haywood. What have you been up to this week?
Oh, I've played a lot of games. I've loved Trials, by the way. Although I've been incredibly busy, I've not gotten a lot of sleep because of how busy I am, because I've been wanting to play video games as well. So I played a lot of Lego Marvel this week with my wife. That game is actually, there's a lot to that game. We've played probably 10, 12 hours, and I think we're at 9.6% completion.
Wow.
So
How many of the characters do you have unlocked, do you think? Like percentage-wise?
I probably have 30 characters unlocked, 40 characters unlocked, and there's a good like 250. I don't even know how many characters are unlockable, but I mean, I was playing that for 3 hours before this cast with my wife today, so it's awesome. It's actually a pretty good game. I run into the problem where I get punched a lot because, you know, that's just how Lego games are. It's a lot of friendly fire goes on, but yeah. Anyways, no, that's what I've been playing this week. So, outside of the Xbox, Dark Souls 2 came out on PC, and I have been playing a lot of that and a lot of FTL for those PC gamers out there.
Nice.
Big fan of those two games.
I really wish Dark Souls was on the Xbox One, but
I know, I wish so too.
That's a topic for another day. Awesome. So some Trials.
Trials,
and,
Lego, Dark Souls 2, FTL, and a little bit of Hearthstone. So that's
Don't throw in there. Don't throw in there to the mix.
This week. Too many games.
Awesome, hey, that's a good mix. I have a question for you though. Since you have 12 hours into Marvel Comics, would you change? Has it changed the way you view it? Do you like it more? Do you like it less than when you first started playing it?
I like it more. I think the game, because it's so large, I don't know if the game, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a rushed game that they produced it, you know, they released it too soon. I feel as though there are glitches in the game, not game breaking, just because of the nature. Like, I get a lot of characters stuck, especially when you're Hulk. Hulk is a cool character to play, but he's so big, he gets stuck in walls sometimes, and you can't move him around. But because of how you can drop out your character and switch to another character, and then the NPC or the AI kind of moves them for you, it fixes itself. So it's not game breaking by any means, but I feel as though there's a little bit of that in there. But overall, I think I like the game a lot more. Jordan, it's a good game for unlockables and working on achievements and finding secrets.
Yeah, I used to play the Lego Star Wars games all the time.
I love that game, and that's one of the reasons I liked it is because you could go back, replay, and you would replay as when you play the story mode. You can only play as certain characters during the story mode, but then you can free play later with any character you want, and you can.
I forget. Sorry, did you mention last week? What's your favorite character to play with?
Human Torch, no
Human
question.
Torch, really?
He's awesome.
Really?
What
is it that he does? Does he just control well, or?
Yeah, and he flies you remember how fun Iron Man was to fly around the city,
super fun,
right?
yeah.
He can do that, but he's a freaking fireball. He's got one of his weapons or whatever. He's got he can shoot fireballs at everybody, but he's got this like laser fire line thing, and he's I don't know. There's any character. Oh, do you know who's way fun too? Is Thor. Thor is surprisingly
Really?
fun.
Thor would be a cool one.
Can Thor fly in the game?
Yeah, he can fly.
Oh,
he
cool.
can definitely fly, and he has like a power up where you can hold B down, and you just charge up your hammer with lightning, and then all of a sudden, instead of throwing your hammer around, you're shooting lightning bolts and lightning everywhere, and it's permanent. It's not like you run out of it either. He's the freaking god of thunder, so unlimited lightning.
Oh man,
no, he's really fun to play with too.
Cool, awesome. Well, if you have a hankering for some Marvel comics, that sounds like the game to get. Awesome.
It's cool. Yeah.
Jordan, what about you? What have you been up to this week?
Oh, I did something crazy this week. I played Trials at the beginning, but then Wednesday, I hooked up my 360.
Oh, he's going backwards.
And I started playing Halo 4 the rest of the week. it was so much fun. Oh, it was so much fun.
I was reading a bunch of reports, speaking of that E3 is Halo 4 port to the Xbox One is probably going to be one of their big announcements, or that's what everyone's predicting anyway.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Well, I heard rumors of they had Halo Anniversary a couple of years ago, and then I heard rumors of Halo 2 Anniversary.
Yeah.
But those are just rumors. Who knows, right? I know that they did say they are going to have Halo news at E3 this year. So
Awesome. Awesome.
But anyway, that's
So Trials and Halo.
Trials and Halo 4, and I bought Dark Souls last night, so I
Yeah.
played 3 minutes of that.
So
and died, and I went to
on
bed, so-
Trials, since you've played it, since we last spoke, any new impressions, thoughts, concerns?
It's still
Comments?
awesome. I love that game.
Yeah.
It's
In
great.
quotations, it's still awesome.
The levels get better and better as you go on. Oh, it's so fun.
I gotta mention, after last week's show, we stayed on our video feed, and me and Jordan played that game. We played that pretty late into the night, and all we did was try to beat each other's scores on the first 3 tutorial levels. Shaving off the time.
We got really good, so we have some
Yeah.
top scores now.
Yeah, we're pretty. I think I was like 3,500 in the world. So boom. I'm sure I'm not that anymore, but
Very nice. Very nice.
no. Trials is a fun game.
Yeah, but that was my week. Trials and a little bit of Halo 4.
Nice. Very nice. Mark Ashley, how about yourself? What were you up to this week?
So Saturday I played the rest of Thief. Well, not the rest of Thief, but more Thief. I like it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly how you feel.
You know what I mean? Like it. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, where like it's cool, but there's not really any point that you're doing half of what
There's
you're
no
doing.
meat to the storyline kind of anymore. It's going
Yeah.
weird, and
Yeah.
for me
it gets even weirder.
for me the latency and the controls, the lag or whatever that made it really choppy started getting to me a little bit. It kind of wore me out, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. So
I kind of want to just finish it just to see the ending of the story because, like, I went to an asylum and it was like freaking me out, to be honest. Because you saw those little creepy creatures that
Oh,
are in it. And I
Gollum.
was like,
The Gollum.
spoiler alert.
Oh,
Spoiler
yeah,
alert.
yeah. Sorry, everyone,
There's-
if you haven't played
there's
it yet.
ugly people in this.
Yeah.
But then I've been playing Titanfall, of course, because it's my go-to game.
And generation update? Any?
I'm
generation
still on
update?
Generation 4, but I finished all the gun, like the sniper
The challenges.
challenges.
Nice.
I just have to finish the Titan ones and then do that stupid pilot.
And are you
laser
ready for
gun.
this, everyone? I'm sure you all probably saw his tweet, but he got 101 with a sniper rifle in an attrition.
No.
Oh, that
match.
was with the sniper?
Yeah.
I got 103.
Oh, sorry.
With the sniper
Oh,
rifle,
yeah.
that's not
Oh,
bad.
that's great.
Well,
that
it's
game-
it's that one level. What is it? The arena level? Is that what it is? And it is my favorite level because you just go up top and you just run through
On that
those,
warehouse in
those
the middle?
towers and stuff. You know, is that the one I'm thinking of? You know, where you drop down into like an actual arena type thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know that one.
Mm-hmm.
And you just go upstairs and you run through those and I've actually been using is it the stim that you can see? No, stim
Yeah.
is the running one. Is stim the one where you see other
Oh, no. Sorry, it's active radar pulse. is the one
radar
that-
pulse? I've been using that lately.
Stim's where you can fast.
Does that work well with the sniper? Can you see that through the
yeah.
scope?
From there, well, not through the scope, but you can see people up close, and then you can just aim for them. But like in that level, it's fine because if they're below you, you can kind of just see. It gives you off a little ways, so
Interesting.
it wasn't bad. Then what else did I play this week? Oh, and then I tried your trials last night. And
Did you get it?
Not yet. I really want to buy it though because that game is a lot of fun. It blew my mind how cool it is. You know,
And how
it's
simple. That's
addictive,
what's
too.
amazing.
I know. I was like, oh man, I need to do better.
Simple
than this.
yet complicated. Simple yet frustrating. That's
Simple
probably
yet
the word.
in depth.
Yep. And that's about it. I played a little bit of Rust just to keep my doors open, but they're closing down the server anyways, so I'm just gonna go try and blow up this huge tower. Actually, I tried to do it with just my grenades, so I was just standing there just throwing grenades at doors and stuff. But that's something I think we're all gonna go in and just raid, I think, and just
Nice.
All of us are hopping on.
I think so. I got
Yeah,
like
we'll
at least
probably- we'll
4
probably
in my
broad-
I
list.
haven't played that game in
Yeah,
a while.
we'll probably broadcast it, so that'll be
that'll be fun.
But
But that's about it.
awesome. So Thief and Titanfall with a little sample of Trials, and if in the words of Will Ferrell, it's just so good once it touches your lips.
Pretty much. That's how I felt.
Myself, I played Rise again. For those of you in chat who had an opportunity to watch, it is awesome. I love that game. even more now that I'm at the end of it. I have about one more chapter left. I'll probably finish that up this week. But we're back in Rome, and the story has taken a sweet twist.
Yes.
In fact, I forgot that what we were actually playing this whole time was actually like a look back into time.
Yeah, he's telling a
level.
story.
The first chapter, you're kind of in the present, and then the chapters after that, you go back, and now we're back in the present again. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I was just laughing at the chat here. For those
Yeah,
of you
I think
who
we
haven't
all
had
saw
it,
that,
yeah,
yeah.
for those of you who haven't
Mark
had an
started typing.
opportunity to watch our stream, check it out because Mark joins us with a freaking 200-ounce.
Yeah, it's just 100 ounce,
Yeah.
but just 100 ounces bigger than my upper torso.
But he
so.
just took a swig, and in chat, Celaguara asked if that was Paul Bunyon's jug.
It's awesome. It's funny because like when you put stuff closer to the camera, you think, oh, it's it's like this one. No, it's that big.
Yeah.
It is that big.
It's
I love
actually
my
that
man
big.
cups. So
Anyways, well, with that, so Rise I played Thief as well. That was our couch cast. Also played more Rayman's. Pure joy. That's all I can say. I freaking love that game. Best platform that I've played in a long time. If you guys haven't had a chance to play it, pick it up. It's one of those games too. It's a lot. Reminds me of Trials in the aspect that it's simple yet in depth. If that makes sense, right? Like what it does is simple, but it does it so well, right? It's excellent. Anyways, and then Thief. My thoughts on Thief the same. My opinion of that game has gone down the longer that we've played it. I started out thinking, yeah, not bad. Okay, I could get into this. It's not great, but it's not bad. And the longer I've played it, I find myself becoming bored of it. Sorry, Thief. And any of you
yeah,
are
I
Thief
think I
fans
might
out
be
there.
done with that game. Actually, I don't know. Should we rate the game now, or are we burned out from it?
Yeah, I
sufficiently
think
that
we could. I think we could rate it. I think we're deep enough
am.
into it. Let's start with the guy who's played it the most. On a scale of 1 to 10, finishing up our discussion here. Red like my dad. What would you rate that game?
6.8.
Okay. Okay.
know.
I think that's fair.
That's a
I think that's
lot better
generous, to
score
be
than I
honest.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like at first it's kind of cool because you can go steal stuff, and it's kind of cool how they've set that part up. But they could have done a better job with the story. It's kind of just weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense, Like
No spoilers.
everything, no spoilers, but just
we might be
like
getting in trouble
like-
for the spoilers that
Yeah.
we talked about. So
yeah, just
far,
at the
so.
start of it, how it's like you're just like, no, what's going on, and you still don't know what's going on through the whole thing. It's kind of like,
it kind of just
Okay.
goes around.
so why am I doing this?
When we played that on our couch cast, I attributed that to the fact that we were all taking turns. You played it by yourself, and you still felt that way.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Spoiler alert. Just kidding.
Mark Haywood, what would you give that game? Now that
I think I'm gonna be generous and give it a 5.3. So
okay.
I think there was too many. I mean, I'm a fan of plot development, plot structure, story-driven games. This seemed to have advertised a great story-driven game with twists and everything. I really didn't feel like I got that out of it. That said, it still could have been a lot more fun, but it was the controls that felt really chuggy, sluggish. I even pointed it out at the couch cast. When you would move left, when you would press the joystick left, there's probably 400 milliseconds of delay. And that's why it felt sluggish, because when you'd move left, it would take a second, and then you'd move left. It'd take a second to move right. We know that's not the controls. We know the latency on the Xbox controllers are not like that. We know they're sufficiently good with the milliseconds. So it's the game itself, and I felt that was kind of game-breaking for me. So
It did feel weird.
it felt awkward, and that awkward controls kind of wore me out eventually. I just kind of got burned out from trying to, just ignoring the controls, but you deal with the controls throughout the entirety of the game. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I kind of got burned out.
Yeah,
so.
I could definitely see that. So 5.3,
5.3.
6.8. George the man. What is yours?
Oh, I give it a 6.
A 6. So we're
Around
hovering in the
around
same region.
I give it a 5 or 6.
Yeah.
so.
Anything that stuck out to you of why it's a 5? What was good? What was bad?
Just, don't get mad at me for saying this, but it felt
I'm pissed.
boring. Yeah, yeah. To me it felt boring.
Yeah.
I was.
Well, and I think
Like
that's
it's a cool concept, being a thief, stealing and stuff like that, but it just never went anywhere. I felt,
yeah.
I think
Well
they need
said.
more
Never went
side
anywhere.
quests.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
not
like-
even side quests. I think I honestly. Well, okay, I appreciate that opinion. I didn't mean to just shut you down. so-
Think about it. Remember when we played, we had one side quest, and it was like an accident that we even found it.
Yeah, that's true.
It was kind of, we just like fell into it.
Well,
We're
and
like, oh.
honestly, I was kind of
okay.
into the whatever the side quest that we did find.
It was fun. It
seemed
was more
like
fun
kind
than
of cool, yeah.
the story mode was, but
So, myself, I would probably give it like a 6.5. I think probably, and I think the big thing for me was, and I think Jordan probably summarized this a little bit, but I liked the idea of Thief. I didn't like Thief. And I think the first half of the game, it was we were playing the idea that was Thief, and then we realized they completely missed that idea the longer we played
and
it.
what was the point of stealing stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. In
honestly,
fact,
I'm
that's-
a thief. I should,
Yeah, exactly, and it didn't make it like integral. I didn't feel like I was doing anything special, or I'm supposed to be this master thief, but every house I go into, there's other guys in there robbing stuff as well.
Well, my problem, one of my things with it is, so you know how like if you get caught, you got to get away because obviously there's no combat system. Well, there's no, it's not easy to fight someone basically.
Yeah, all you have is a little twig that you.
Yeah, but no,
You,
and
like,
that's
poke
fine. Like
people.
that whole like running away is fine. But when you do something like that, why not make it like Assassin's Creed where it's smooth and fluid and you can go up buildings and you know what I mean, instead of block running to different. There's an alley
Yeah,
up.
that's a
You know what I
good
mean,
way
it wasn't even
say
fun
that.
to escape. I guess.
And they didn't punish you for just running from one part of the map to the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once we figured that out, it was like, okay, screw these soldiers everywhere. Just let them see you and just run, and then they just stop chasing you.
Yeah.
I mean, there
Yeah.
was a part in the cast where I sat there with a guy staring at my face with a torch and going, I know you're there.
Oh yeah, we
I know
were
you're
in the
there."
dark.
I don't know. I went into it expecting like something completely different than what I got, and that's probably why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, having said that,
Well, thought it was
said that,
high expectations.
it did bring us together for 3 weeks, and so I would like to thank the makers of Thief for
Okay,
that.
let's do that. Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah.
I got 3 dinners out of that and,
Yeah.
and several hours.
I gained
so.
like 8 pounds
Just
out of that.
Do
so.
do what we did and go to Redbox and just rent it for a night.
Yeah,
and
if
then
you want to check it out.
see
I mean,
how you like it.
yeah, and you guys might have a different opinion, but that's just
We played.
Is it-
We paid a total of $3 for it,
yeah.
Isn't that,
Yeah.
we Redbox that thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
and I kind of feel like was okay.
So if you were to buy that game, $3 is a good price.
I feel that's pretty good. I just didn't like it that much. I don't know.
That's funny. That's really funny. Oh! You know what time that means? It is our next segment, discussion time. Here we go. On today's discussion, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to float this question by you first. So a lot was made last week. We talked about really the Xbox One versus the PlayStation 4. And as a result, all hell broke loose on our YouTube channel as people want to
I
kill
just
each
want to
other.
make a quick comment. I do like the PlayStation 4. In case I did not make that clear last week.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, and no, it's important to say that.
I didn't want. I
what
hopefully I
was
didn't
so
offend
funny-
anybody. So.
What was so funny about our discussion about, the PlayStation 4 versus the Xbox One, it wasn't actually about that. It was why it's important to have both consoles competing against each other, because it creates competition, and competition makes great improvements in gaming systems and games.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the point. It's just the fanboys on either side of the arc, and you can't talk to. I don't understand. It's like, we're on your
It's
side.
like worse than
PlayStation, we're on your side.
Yeah.
Xbox, we're on your side.
We just all want a
Video
game.
game.
We just want to play games and have fun. And meanwhile, you have the PC guys that are just like, nothing's ever gonna beat the PC. Kind of
Graphically,
staying
yeah,
out,
I mean, I
out
played
above the
Dark Souls on it.
fray.
We just want games.
I know. Let's just play games, guys. Anyways, I wanted to I bring that up because I was reading different forums and listening to different people's opinions on this discussion, and something that was brought up, and I thought I would ask you guys, was with the sales right now, PlayStation is beating the Xbox One. I mean, that's just a fact. That's not the end all. It doesn't mean that that's how it's going to end up. That in all reality, it's still fairly close. I mean, 1 million consoles worldwide is not that big
2
of a
million.
gap. Or 2 million, whatever. However, it's
Well,
not
considering
really
the
that.
sales markets as well too.
Yeah,
so.
it's not really that big of a gap. But the discussion that has ensued after those numbers were released, and especially the rest of this week, later on into the week, was Xbox One needs to lower its price point in order to compete with the PlayStation 4. Now I've had time to think about that, and I have my thoughts on that, but I thought I'd pose that question to you guys. Do you think, and this is put in context of E3 coming up, they're saying it doesn't matter if Xbox One, this is kind of the prevailing opinion out there, it doesn't matter if the Xbox One comes out with the greatest games in the world, it's that $100 price point. PlayStation 3 was more expensive than the Xbox 360, and look at what happened there. And with E3, that's the announcement that needs to be made. Let me go to Jordan first. Do you agree or disagree with that sentiment, and why? What are your thoughts on that?
I agree to disagree. I don't know. Well, I mean, if it goes down, obviously it'll sell more, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, cheaper price. I mean, same with the PlayStation 4. If it goes down, it'll sell more. I don't think they need to lower their price, man. I mean, for what you get, I think it's a pretty solid price.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, the PlayStation 3, if you bought the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Eye, you're paying about the same price, $500.
PlayStation 4, you mean?
Oh, sorry, PlayStation 4 and then the new PlayStation Eye. You're paying about. It's because they're including that Kinect. I think that the price is higher, but I think that Kinect needs to be included because it's a part of the box.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to say. It's integrated with the box.
Yeah.
And
So much
don't know.
that you can't remove it.
yeah, you can't.
it's
I
I-
remember I took it out for like a week, and it was I had to put it back in.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I'm playing games on my computer, I'm yelling out Kinect commands, but they don't work because it's the computer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I think it's gonna go down no matter what we say. Just like the 360. What the 360 started out at what, $399, something like that.
PlayStation 3, I mean,
and
yeah.
now it's what, $150.
That's just the nature of the
it's
evolution
gonna go
of
down,
products.
but-
But
It's the nature of hardware.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's the cost. As they improve their methods of producing the Xbox,
Yeah.
the cost of the device will go down. That's just how it is. So
yeah. So
And
we'll
then,
see it go
I mean,
down.
like you said, I like that you said that when the PlayStation 3 came out, it was $100 more than the 360. And I want to use that as an example. They came out at a higher price. And, I mean, yes, they were behind for, what was it, 7 to 8 years. I think Xbox had the lead, but they weren't too far behind. I mean, they were still
Did
competitors.
they overall win?
I think
or-
PlayStation 3, as of last year, took the lead.
Yeah, I think they,
After
when all
8
was said and
years,
done,
took the
they
lead,
finally
so-
won. So I mean,
So, I
we're
mean,
so
I
early
don't
on.
necessarily
There's
think
no.
you got to lower the price. I think, really honestly, and you can disagree with me, I think it comes down to games. If you got a solid game, you're going to sell your console, no
Yeah.
matter what. I mean, look at Titanfall. When we went to the midnight, how many people walked out with Titanfall Xboxes? You know what I mean? I
That is
counted,
true.
What, 9?
That
And
is-
we were like 20th in line.
That is
so.
that is a great point. With that, let's go to Mark
So-
Ashley. What are your thoughts? Do you think that the price should be lowered, or needs to be lowered in order to compete with the PlayStation 4 at this point?
Well, it already is lower. It's $449 in a few places. Like Amazon has a $449, Costco has a
but
$449.
those are just sales though. That's not the
Sales.
permanent price.
Well, they've
yeah.
been like that for like 3 weeks, and so you can't really complain about that. I'm a cheapo anyway, so I'd like to see everything be like $50, you know,
Yeah.
except for games.
Yeah, but do you think that it needs to, like, let's imagine that it stays at its price point. Do you think at that price it can compete with the PlayStation 4?
Yeah, it already is. Really,
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
I I don't think it needs to go down in price just because there's the Xbox gamers and there's the PS gamers, PlayStation gamers. They're always going to go for their game, their console, and it does depend on their game. So, like, it's true. Like, Titanfall, that's the reason Mark got it, right? Titanfall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I'll get that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's games, and I don't think it needs to go down in
Okay,
price.
so-
But it'd be nice if it did, but I don't think it's a game breaker.
So far we've got both Jordan and Mark with no, it doesn't need to. I mean, I think we're all in agreement that obviously eventually the price will go down, but at this point, no, it doesn't need to for the PlayStation 4. What about you, Mark Haywood? What is
Well, for
your...
it to compete, that's the question, right?
Yeah, for it to compete
For it to
at
compete, yeah,
this
okay.
point in
Well,
time, yeah.
at this point, okay. So is the assumption that it's not competing? Is that what
Well,
we're
I
getting
think
at?
I think the assumption is that right now PlayStation 3 is winning. So not for it to compete, for it to
For
win.
PlayStation 4.
Because I mean, it's competing.
Yeah,
I think we still need to bring up the fact that it's 13
about-
countries
yeah.
versus 72 countries
72, yeah.
for the
We will be
PlayStation
at,
4.
Yeah, Xbox will be at 29 by
So,
September, but
um,
still, that's a significant difference.
And that's very true. And I don't know what's causing Xbox to limit their. I mean, there's a whole bunch of laws that come into play when you're trying to release major devices especially media devices. That's a big.
Connected to the internet with all
Connected to
sorts
the
of
internet,
things,
yeah,
TV,
that's a crazy beast that you have to deal with a
So
whole
that's
bunch of
all- that's all
licensing.
Business side
regulations.
then, yeah.
Yeah, and well, let's talk about the business side of things then too, because I don't know if you can. It depends on the actual cost of the Xbox. If they can financially make a decision like that, you can lose money. I believe the Xbox and the PlayStation
Yeah, both lost money.
lost money on launch. They were selling it lower than what it was costing them to create it. I think that's right. Right? Am I okay in saying
Yeah,
that?
that's right, because the idea was those parts will become cheaper over time, and eventually they'll make money on it, and the price of games will make their money back too, right?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
when the
so.
original Xbox came in, it was selling for cheaper just to try and get a market share in the first. I mean,
Yeah.
it was literally created out of thin air.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a lot of numbers. Microsoft has actually been pretty hush-hush about a lot of their numbers. I mean, I think the 5 million number was that a release from Microsoft, or was that speculation from the numbers that the vendors have been giving people? Is that
I think
right?
that was vendor, because I know Sony's was an official Sony release. I think the Microsoft one, because it's how many have been shipped.
Yeah.
So I think that might be like a vendor thing, because Microsoft has not come out with any official numbers.
Yeah,
yet.
so they're being pretty hush-hush about it. So, and I've seen discussions with the fanboys, and I'm going to call them out. Them saying, they're not saying anything because they're garbage, PlayStation rules or whatever.
My
and
favorite. Never mind.
don't. Yeah, it's. I don't want to feed into that flame because that's not what this show is about. We specialize in Xbox, but we are gamers, and the fact that like the Kinect came out 5 years ago made voice recognition for the PlayStation 4 possible, or the fact that something like that made these Sony executives want to make something better for their box, and same with the other way. The arcade, the PlayStation Plus network, they're competing, so they're trying to make their product better. That is a win for all of us. So yes, I want PlayStations to be freaking awesome. Yes, I want Xboxes to be freaking awesome. I think I've already made that point. Let's go back to the discussion at hand. What should Microsoft do to sell more consoles? I think, is that the question, David?
Does it need to lower its price
To compete.
to win?
Oh, to win.
To win. Winning is so. It's an interesting way to put that. It's because we're looking at numbers of sales for individual units. We're not looking at revenue, profit, anything like that.
That's true. That's a good point.
If Microsoft is making $100 a box and PlayStation is making $50 a box, then obviously Xbox is winning because they're making more money. So
yeah.
I don't think the unit sales actually even matters.
Yeah.
But if Microsoft, so let me go into this paradigm of if Microsoft needed to sell more boxes, what should they do? And I'm in agreement with Jordan and Mark, but I'm going to add a little bit more to it. It's not just games; it's games you play with friends.
Yeah.
And, you
Well,
know,
I think the gaming's definitely going multiplayer for sure.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think
I mean,
having said that, if I could jump in here real quick, how many people jumped from the PlayStation 2 to the Xbox 360 because their friends were playing that in the last generation, and it's a huge number.
And yeah, I want to say I have played both systems, their multiplayer ability, and for me the Xbox wins hands down, no question, and the ease of use to connect with friends to play video games.
I agree with you. I've
And
played both as well, and I agree.
socially, and that to me is what sells boxes. I was having a discussion with Marks a lot. Yeah, I don't think I see him in chat right now, but over Twitter, and we were talking about this exact conversation: why Microsoft needs to make more, or how would they make more sales? I read some articles with him actually about. It was from Forbes. I'll find you that article, David, if you want to put it in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the guy in the article mentions 3 things that they need to do, and I disagreed with every one of them. He said cut the Connect, lower prices for the box itself, and there was another one, but I totally disagreed. I am on the Phil Spencer bandwagon. It's games, and it's games you want to play with your friends.
yeah, agreed.
That is what. So Mark's a lot. He is a diehard PlayStation 4 user, not diehard, but he has a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox 360. He recently sold his 360 to buy an Xbox, and the reason, or the Xbox One, and the reason he did that is because a friend in New York had the Xbox One and he wanted to play with him, you know, and he was going back and forth. He's a very strong PlayStation fan, and I wish he was in chat right now. Because I love having discussions with him because he gives me perspective on the Sony side of things, even though I am pro Sony. But it's interesting to note that is what made his decision, was a friend playing games on that, you know. And I bought the Xbox a month ago because of Titanfall to play with you guys. You know,
yeah, that's true. That is true.
That is what sells, and that's how it was with the original Xbox with Halo Combat Evolved. You know, that's why I bought that Xbox. It was so I could bring my box to a friend's house on big screen TVs with a long Ethernet cable, and we would upstairs, downstairs, let's do this.
Let's play that, Mitch.
Yeah, I know. So it's not just games, it's games that you want to play with friends. And I think that's Xbox's strongest point, is how good their multiplayer system is.
Yeah. Sorry, if I could jump in, I think I agree with you guys. I don't think it's the price point necessarily. I think, and this was actually mentioned in chat just right now by Setlaguara, that what hurt them the most wasn't the price point. It was this year of bad press because of the mismanaged talking points, basically, the mismanaged strategy at last year's E3. That's what has hurt them, because perception is reality, and that the perception is, at least at this point, for a lot of people who aren't in the know, that the PlayStation 4 is the gamer's box. It's the gaming machine that cares about gamers and has games, right? And Xbox Microsoft completely bundled that last year and just has not been able to get that monkey off its back yet. And I think not lowering the price point, I
don't think that'll do it.
That will help, of course, but that's not the end
even...
game. The end game is getting rid of that perception, and I think Phil Spencer and this E3 is going to show whether or not they're going to be able to get rid of that perception.
Yeah, and I think,
I think lowering the price is very short term. I think hiring or promoting Phil Spencer to what his position is now, that was the long-term decision.
Yeah,
you know,
and that was a good decision.
Yeah, and everybody agrees with that. all gamers everywhere were.
Well,
thinking,
even remember,
yes.
Sony came out with the comment, when your competitor comes out with a comment that compliments you for your choice that you made, you know you made a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Sony executive, so it wasn't an official.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Sony,
Sony executive.
The Sony executive mentioned that he tweeted that, so that's how we got that information. But Yeah, so I think it's multiplayer games, and it's games
Yeah.
you want to play with your friends. That's my.
So
my-
I think basically we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I don't. Yeah.
of the price point obviously would help. Any lower prices is gonna give you a little boost, but in the long run, it's games, software, friends, and getting rid of that perception. Safe, good summary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's funny that we mentioned games being the thing that'll sell the Xbox, because I actually have a quote that I wanted to talk about from Phil Spencer's Twitter, and I
Oh,
don't know if you guys saw
yeah,
this or not,
let's see
but
it.
it says, a guy by the name of the Wolf Pack.
The Wolf Pack.
The Wolf Pack, yeah, pretty cool,
Cool
cool
name,
picture,
yeah,
too.
that's
Shout
pretty-
out to that guy. He's got a cool name. But he tweeted to Phil Spencer. He says, "This is the most important E3 since 2007. Hope you bring the hype." End quote. Phil Spencer then tweets back, bringing more than hype, bringing the games."
Oh,
And I don't know. I got
man.
excited when I
The
read that.
gauntlet has been thrown
I
down.
don't know. I think it's cool that he said that. It made me even more excited for E3. It's funny that we talked. that
Okay,
games
ready?
will sell
Word
consoles, so-
association. Mark Ashley, first impression of that statement. Go.
I love Phil Spencer.
That is funny.
It really does get you excited. That's like,
Yeah,
well,
he said bringing more than hype, bringing games.
well, and
So
look at the
that's-
games that are coming out this year. Like, well, how many are coming out in just the same day? Didn't you say there was like 3 or?
Yeah,
I know
3. I
there's
think. What is it? Shadow of
and then there's
Mordor,
Dragon Age, and
Dragon Age,
same
and
day,
the
and then a week
Alien
later is
game coming
Batman.
out. But then again, I mean, those are third-party games, so they'll be on both systems,
Yeah.
anyways. But still,
I'm excited.
so it'll be first part. Let me make a distinction here. It will be first-party games at E3 that are the big deal this year's on both sides.
Both systems,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I guess all 3 systems. We always forget about Nintendo, but yes, they do have a system out there.
Dude, I like Nintendo, man. They're just casual. They don't care about numbers, man. They're all about having fun.
I just love that we
That's why I
never
like
include
Nintendo.
them in our conversation.
They're so cool.
Maybe
They're not really the gamer's machine. They're your nephew's machine, and they're your grandparents' machine. They're not the gamer's machine. So
Yeah,
that's why we're
that's-
not. Why we
yeah.
never talk about them, really.
Yeah,
But
that
they're
is-
there.
That's true.
I mean,
everyone,
if I wanted to play
everyone,
Mario 15. I guess I could play
everyone
with that.
has one to get Zelda and Pikmin, right? Anyways,
Yeah, well, Nintendo. Let's be fair. Nintendo was very smart by marketing the children. I guess the younger generation. That's
yeah, kids know it. Kids never go out of
And Nate,
business.
was it Nintendo that started it all, or did the Atari come out before
No,
Nintendo?
No,
before that, I
Atari,
think you had
yeah.
the Commodore. I mean,
Oh, okay.
Nintendo's the General Electric. It's the company that's been around, that's lasted. I mean, Sega is now a software developer. They after Dreamcast, they lost, the battle, I guess. And yeah, you don't have I mean,
feel-
Atari. Is Atari still around developing games? I think they're a software
yeah,
company still.
they're developing games.
I
But
play
yeah.
with the Atari all the time.
Nintendo. Let's call Nintendo the General Electric of
Nice.
video
General
games.
Motors, the General Electric.
Yeah, they're the last ones left that have actually
Well,
that's still creating hardware.
Before we move on to our last topic, speaking of the Dreamcast, I think that brings out a good point in that. I mean, we all have the Xbox One, and we are in agreement that it's a good machine. They have a good product here, but I think that we can't fall into that trap of saying, well, it's a good product. It just has to catch on with the public, because the Dreamcast was a great product during his time, and that was Sega's last product, really, right?
Yeah,
because they
but
didn't do a good
Sega-
job of marketing.
Sega
It came out at
versus
the wrong
Microsoft.
time. That's another point. But at the time, I mean, I think the overarching point is that it's more than you need more than just a great product. You need to sell it properly, and they didn't do that, and now they no longer exist.
Well,
as
they,
long as
they exist
Microsoft
as a
lasts
software.
until
Yeah,
Shadow of
that's true.
Mordor shows up, I'm okay.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when I say Sega versus Microsoft, I want to point out the distinction I'm making is cash flow, the power that they have
Yeah.
to bounce
I mean,
back.
they're not a
I
one-trick
actually-
pony,
I
right?
actually
They've
read
got
that.
money
It was
in
very
everything.
interesting. I
and
read
then
Oh, sorry, David.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, go Jordan.
I read an article about why Microsoft is powerful, right? Sony may be winning and having more sales, but Microsoft can just drop $1 million on, say, Titanfall and say, "Come be our exclusive." You know what I mean? No questions that they
Not even a
they
million.
have-
A million's pocket.
I mean, that's just a number. I mean, they got
find their couch in the lobby.
Yeah, I mean that's just a number. But I read an
That's what they're
article
finding
on
their
saying that's
couch.
why you can't count Microsoft off because they do have the money to buy. You know what I mean? They have,
Hashtag.
and I saw their quarterly reports. Even though it was over Christmas, so they probably got a lot of Christmas sales. But they make a lot of money.
Hashtag bling.
Yeah, they are a monster, and yeah,
So.
Sony is.
Sony is too, but
in the big pictures, Microsoft is is more powerful as far as cash flow, as far as, they're just a monster we're not talking about just Xbox, we're talking about the companies.
the entire this wasn't just
entirety of-
Xbox either. This was the entirety of the company, all their profit.
Okay, and last thing before we go and get out of here, I wanted to bring this up. I heard an interview with these game developers, mostly independent game developers, and they have put together, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but it's a group of game developers, like I said, mostly but it's called Games for Change. Has anyone heard of that?
Is it a charity?
Probably.
Sounds like a charity.
Yeah, it is. But
Oh, it is? Okay.
But this is well. Let me explain to you what it is. Then no one's heard of it, and neither had I before I heard this interview. But this interview was on a big time podcast. It was IGN's, obviously, no wait, it was Joystick's podcast. Giving them free advertising here.
There you go. They owe us money now.
Yeah, yeah. But it was a serious discussion because these guys, their mission, Games for Change, is to make games that address social movements, that talk about their Games for Change. They want to address, let me give you an example. For instance, they would like to have gay antagonists or gay main characters so that they could address and explore the problems that homosexuals face in society, etc., etc. And this is my question to you guys. As I was listening to this popped up. I said, "Oh, I gotta ask the guys this. Do you think games should make political statements, and do you think something like this would be successful?" Keep in mind these are mostly independent gamers that are doing this. But do you think this is the right realm to do this? Do you think it will be successful? Let's start with Mark Haywood.
Thank you for letting me go
Yeah.
first.
I knew you'd be passionate about this one.
No, yeah, I get really frustrated. Okay, movies. Okay, let's
Yeah.
talk about movies. I get frustrated, and I generally think I'm a green person. I generally like to make sure the earth is okay for the next generations involved. I like to throw garbage away. I like to recycle. Okay, let's point that out. I get frustrated in movies when they start preaching doctrine about the recycled thing. I don't know, in marketing and everything, people proclaiming they're green. I don't like it at all. I might be alone in that aspect. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
But
you're not.
I feel as though games have been oddly removed from this subject, from the political aspect. I mean, you kind of get some games, you get political thrillers, and sometimes it's a satire on it, but for the most part, all that kind of stuff has been removed from the games. Regardless my position, regardless whatever things are, I appreciate it when it's not in there.
Yeah. You want to be entertained, you don't want to think. Have
Not
your thoughts.
manipulated.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
being manipulated emotionally,
Yeah.
and that's let's be green, or legalize marijuana or whatever it is. I appreciate maybe that's one of the reasons I like it. Like video games is because they don't tell me what to do. I tell that character what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Interestingly enough, in the Games for Change, there was one American. I mean, granted, I'm sure there's more. These are just who I heard in the podcast, and it was an interesting interview, to be honest. It was interesting to listen to.
I think the only place that could be successful is in the independent. If successful is even possible with the political side of things, that's the only place that it would exist.
Yeah,
because publishers are putting a lot of money in, and I don't think I'm alone, and I'm grateful that stuff doesn't exist in games.
Yeah, no.
The preachy.
Yeah, the preachy aspect of it. They were, for the most part, not American. Let me issue with that. In fact, two of them were Canadian. One of them
Oh,
was
that's why.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
one of them.
I have no part in
Yeah.
this whatsoever.
One of them
Unless
was
you're from the-
one of them was French. I mean, not that that means anything, but I think maybe they
But it does.
view the gaming scene a little bit different, or maybe it's more socially acceptable to enter the entertainment field with different political spectrums. Anyways, Mark Ashley, what do you think? Do you think that political statements should be made in games, and do you think it would be successful? What is your overall thought process here?
Okay, I'll answer your question with a question. Would you rather play as Batman beating up people or as a politician trying to get votes?
It depends if
politician
the
might
politician
play
try to get
football.
because they do.
Football manager.
They
I
do.
mean,
I do like Football Manager.
So-
You know, so
it could if it's
But
done
that-
right. Okay, let me interject right here. Games need to be fun to sell and make money, right?
Yeah.
Movies can suck and still make money.
yeah, true. Yeah,
You know, and
because
so
you'll go see a movie, but you're not going to buy a game and play it if it's not fun.
and most movies, well, not I wouldn't say most, but many movies over the course of the 60 years that the movie industry has been involved with movie making, or 60 years, no, they've been for a long time. If it's politically aggressive, let's use that term. If it's politically aggressive, whether the movie is good or not, it gets nominations.
Yeah.
But not views.
Games are supposed to be fun. If they're not fun, look what happened to Thief. We're never playing that damn game again.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
I just wanted to say that games need to be fun. So yeah, if you can make if you can make someone voting for a politician freaking awesome, heck yes, I
Maybe-
can play it.
Maybe Congress Wars or something. Where it's also like
It's a
one-on-one
first-person
warfare.
shooter,
It's
and
a turn-based.
Yeah.
You know, you have three politicians on both sides, and you got to use your
Yeah, I don't think it belongs in games. I think it's garbage, to be honest. It needs to. I don't think it'll last either.
yeah,
Yeah,
It just won't sell.
yeah.
It
So
And if
has-
it does,
yeah,
then what the heck?
political game because it's you can't make a crappy. If it's fun, yes, and if it makes statements, I get frustrated. But if it's a fun game, it'll work. It can't be based solely on the political aspect, or
Yeah.
the statements that it's making, or whatever it is.
So Jordan, let me move this to you because you have played BioShock Infinite, and I think
That was a great game.
Okay,
I
no
love that
spoilers,
game.
heads up.
I won't. That,
Jordan's a resident spoiler person, so
but I think BioShock Infinite is accused of making. I mean,
Racist
there
comments.
are no, yeah, racist comments. No.
it's an incredibly racist game.
There is an underhanded theme at making a political statement in that game. But I don't think that if you're not aware, and most gamers probably aren't. I mean, not aware. I don't want to say aware, but if you're into gaming, you're probably not super into politics, or you're playing games to escape politics or the real world or your problems of life, right? That's why you're in games. So, what are your thoughts, Jordan? I don't know where I'm going with this question. Just stop me.
Well, just so everybody knows, BioShock Infinite is a fantastic game. It's so good. But, well, I think it just comes to why do I play games? I play games to have fun, right? I don't wake up early, go to work, come home, deal with that stuff, and then play a game where I vote for the president of the United States. I mean, I play games to have fun, right? I mean, I don't think it should be in there. I don't think it would do well if it is in there. It's just like Mark said with the movies. I watch a lot of TV and sitcoms. Even when my sitcoms, they're supposed to be comedy shows, right? I find the episodes that are most boring and I don't like are the episodes where they try and make a point or try and agree with one subject or another. It's just not, you know what I mean? I don't watch it for that. If I wanted to watch that, I'd watch Fox News or whatever, right?
C-SPAN. I'd watch C-SPAN.
Yeah. Or CNN or NBC.
Depending
whatever.
on your political aspect, whatever.
I'd watch the news station, but I do think games, like for example Assassin's Creed, it has political elements where you're trying to undermine the government and stuff, but it has nothing to do with the real world. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
It
yeah,
has
well,
a
see,
it has
that's
a
like
theme,
completely fictitious,
not a
right?
specific political
Whereas,
motive.
like you mentioned, BioShock. There's race themes and different society themes in it, but it's completely obviously there's no city in the sky. Well, there might be, but
Well, so I don't want to have this
You
too
can't
serious,
reach
but I
it.
bring up BioShock because BioShock was accused of basically making a point of making that the Tea Party is crazy and racist. That was who that civilization was supposed to be. They worshipped the founding fathers. They were racist, and that was the accusation. And that, did you find as you were playing that game that you even thought about that, or that you even paid attention to that?
No, I mean, there definitely was some racism, and you can't miss that.
More
But,
than Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, Red Dead is too. Yeah, but that's
Well, I'd say it's on par with those Grand Theft Auto games, but
Oh,
but it
and
wasn't
Grand
the
Theft
main
Auto.
point. Yes, there was a part where I can't explain it without giving up too much.
Oh yeah, just leave it alone.
But I mean, yes, there was racism and different points like that, but it wasn't. I mean, obviously, it was completely fictitious. I mean, that wasn't the main point of the game at all.
Did you feel like it was preaching to you, or was it just storytelling?
No, it was just
Like-
I felt it was just storytelling. Very
Okay.
good storytelling, by the way, too. Because I couldn't put it down. I beat that game in like 5 hours.
Cool. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
uh,
So
Can
go
I
ahead,
mention
Mark,
what
yeah.
Guara mentioned in chat?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I was laughing earlier. Actually.
I want to say he just said, "The real world sucks. That's why we play."
I know.
It's as simple as
I
that.
walk down the
Amen.
street in the real world, I get mugged and get my wallet stolen. So I hop on a game where I walk down the street and get mugged and get my wallet stolen and my fort broken into. It's great.
well, and just another example, and this has nothing to do with it. But I used to play World of Warcraft a lot, and in trade chat, which is basically your general chat, your party chat, or whatever. Sometimes people would start talking about political things, and their arguments would, and it's just no fun. You know what I mean? It's just.
Yeah.
It hurts the game. No one has fun. We end up leaving, going somewhere else. But I mean, it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would sum this up. I think games are a form of escapism. That's why we get them. It's just like sports. It's the same. I hate when sports try and make statements or hop on sides, because I don't watch sports to get that. I watch sports to escape, to be entertained. That's why I play games, to be entertained, to watch a story. And I think if it's going to work, it will be in the independent. It will just be a small niche group that likes playing those.
It would have to be fun.
And it would have to be fun. I mean, really, you play games for fun, not to be educated. I mean, we've all played the "Let's learn to type, kids." Those games freaking suck.
Well, hold on.
yeah, wasn't it Spellmaster?
Yeah.
You have that on
Yeah.
floppy
Mavis
for Windows
Beacon?
98.
yeah.
That's why I have like 100 words a minute, by the way.
Yeah.
Mavis Beacon. That was like the only video game I had when my dad took away my games. So I was just play that. So there's a game on Steam that is a zombie killing game that is strictly you type words.
Oh, really?
What's it called? It
Oh,
actually
is it like those old
kind of-
games where it's
it's-
like
Words
like
with zombies.
you remember like what time is it time
like
tops or time killers?
text-based games?
Where-
That's what they're called.
Well, so you
Where you
remember
type pick up gun, or you
No,
know,
no, not like that. No, it's like it's time. You remember that game when you'd go to the arcades with the guns and there'd be zombies or whatever, and you'd have to shoot the guns, like the later forms of Duck Hunt. You know, you actually could pick up a gun and shoot the zombies as you're going through. Time cops or time killers, I don't remember, but it's like that. You type it in. Screw it, guys. I'm gonna look this up, and I will bring it back in the show in a minute. But you're going through and you're shooting. You're typing of the dead.
Ah,
Thank you.
typing of the dead.
8376. You're just shooting these zombies everywhere. There's boss fights and everything, and all you're doing is typing random garbage. Like, especially in the harder difficulties, it's just you're just typing. And anyways, that game is actually, it's way over the top. The women have huge knockers, you know. People are getting their arms cut off and like using their arms to, you know, it's Area 51 is the game I was thinking of. Thank you, Celaguara. Oh my gosh. Anyways, it's way over the top. It's like your Bayonetta almost over the top, you know,
Bayonetta.
except it's not like Bayonetta whatsoever in gameplay, but it's just, they made that game, and the dialogue in it, it's racist, by the way, and it's just an over-the-top game that is actually pretty fun. So
Awesome.
And it's typing, so you can make crappy concepts fun.
That's funny. All right. Well, with that, let's get out of here. Mark Ashley, what are you up to this week?
I think I am just going to do Titanfall and a little bit of Rust. I want to get that Generation 5 and see if I can actually get to it.
Generation 5, the man.
Unless I'm allowed to buy Trials, and then I'll be playing
And
Trials.
then you'll be
Allowed.
trying to.
Oh, you gotta
I have
buddy
to ask
that. I mean,
permission first.
No, that's okay. When you're married, listeners, when you're married, this is what happens to gamers.
Yeah.
You need to work together as a team if you want a happy relationship. So, thank you
Ask
for that words of
first.
wisdom, Mark.
Yeah.
Always ask first, and then buy it anyways. But yeah, I'll be doing that, and hopefully my wife won't be listening to this podcast this week. So you can catch me on Twitch, Rad Like My Dad, and my Twitter is Rad Like My Dad as well. And another shout out to our Facebook page. Go like us, and yeah.
All right, nice. Jordan Paskett, Jordan the man. What are you up to this week?
Oh, I think I'm back on the Halo 4 bandwagon. I'm going to be playing a lot of that this week. I'll probably be playing Trials as well.
Trials.
Trials
How far are
and,
you into that game?
Trials?
Yeah.
I'm almost done with it.
Nice.
I'm about 50. I think it was, 54% through the main campaign? So
Oh.
and then I've done a little track creation, just played around in the track creator and played on other people's custom tracks. So I'll probably do a little bit of that. I know it's not Xbox, but it is Windows.
cares?
So
we are playing that game, Jordan.
on
We are
the
playing
Windows-
that game.
Windows PC by Microsoft, I will be playing Dark Souls 2 a little bit this week.
Are you going to be?
Dark
Are you
Souls
going to
is
be?
not by Microsoft.
Are you going to
but-
be streaming
Well, on
that?
the Windows PC. By,
Okay.
So.
Are you going to be
Seems
streaming
many
that?
different. Yeah, I'll stream. So you can watch me. You can follow me on Twitch at JordTheMan_X1 Bros. And you can follow me on the Xbox at just JordTheMan, and then you can follow me on Twitter at JordTheMan_XOB.
JordTheMan_XOB. Awesome. Mark Haywood, what are you up to, Mr. McSpicy?
I'm gonna be playing Dark Souls, man. The game is so good. It is so good.
As we speak. So
We're loading it right now. Are we gonna play after the show, or is it too late? Is it too
well,
late? Okay. I'm gonna be playing Dark Souls, and I have FTL, man. That's another Windows game, or not Windows game. Windows on the computer. It's a PC game that I really love.
Nice. Anything on the Xbox One for this week?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot of Marvel because I got to tell you, that is, I think, my wife's favorite game right now. And she just continues. When I'm working, I work at home, and when I'm working, she comes in and goes, Can we play Legos now?
Sure.
do it.
Why
Yeah.
not? How often does
So,
this happen? Yes.
It never happens. Again, that game is the gap. It's the bridge builder between two different kinds of gamers that you have.
Yeah.
So I'll be playing a lot of that, and I'll do my best to beat all of Jordan's score. The problem I have with that is he'll just go back and beat him. So
Yeah, it's just
I am ahead of Mark right now on everything except for one thing.
except for one thing,
One
and
challenge
by
that
the
I
way,
can't beat anyway, but I'll figure it
that
out.
challenge I did in 3 turns. So it just shows you. It goes to show you again. See these bad boys right here? My hands. I'm sure they are better. My hands are better than yours.
Awesome. I will be playing Rise. I will be beating it on Tuesday. So if you want to check out how that game ends, check me out on Tuesday. Oh, sorry. Wait, I just cut Mark off. Where can they watch you at, Mark? Before I give my spiel here,
No, it's
where can
okay.
people find you?
At Mr. McSpicy is my Twitter. Twitch, Mr. McSpicy is my page if you want to watch me stream. That's how you can find me. So I got to mention, please tweet me if you want to talk video games. I love having discussions. Like I mentioned before when I had the discussion with Mark Salat, it was a really good discussion on video games. So
Awesome.
I want to hear what people are playing too. I want to hear what you like, and I'm all about the gaming aspect. So yeah, there you go. At Mr. McSpicy and Mr. McSpicy on Twitter.
Awesome. Yeah. So like I said, I will be on Rise, beating that. I'm on the last chapter. We're back in Rome, and it is awesome. I will be doing some Titanfall. I haven't played Titanfall all week. Actually, I played it last Sunday. We played with some friends of the show. So we'll probably do that again this Sunday, or try to do it sometime, if not Sunday, sometime this week, where we play with everyone, because it seems like Titanfall is the game that everyone has that has an Xbox One. So if you'd like to play with us, just just shed us a message. No, just shoot us a message. I'm mixing up my words here. It's late, people. Just shoot us a message, any one of us, and we'll get back to you and let you know how and when we are playing. And you can join us, and hopefully, eventually, we can start doing private matches and put those together. Some 6v6.
4 versus 4 or 5 versus 5, whatever it is.
I think it's 6v6.
6 on 6.
Yeah, 6 on 6.
And so yeah, that should be a lot of fun. So, and then also I'm going to try this week and stream. I'm gonna try and up my streaming. Usually it's just Tuesday and Thursdays on my channel. I'm gonna try and up it this week and also show you guys some Rayman Legends because, like I said, that game is pure joy.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch you play that game. So.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to try and up that. You can check me out, X1 Bros, on Twitter. This is the Twitch channel, and like my dad said, check us out on Facebook, X1 Bros, and YouTube channel, X1 Bros. Couchcast, guys, what are we going to be doing for a Couchcast?
Have we thought of what we were going to do? Do we have plans?
We threw out maybe Trials. We threw out what else is out there? We've got Tomb Raider. We've got Rayman Legends. We've got Forza is always one that's there for us.
If we play Trials, we got to put the adult
You get so mad at
notification
that game. Yeah.
because I just played that. We just played that for 20 minutes after the Couchcast yesterday, and there was a lot of words flying. Man, I was frustrated because of this guy right here, Jordan.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
You played it too much. You're too good. You're too
So
good.
we will discuss this off there and let you guys know what the Couchcast is for Thursday. But join us. We have hot dogs, friends, and fun is what we do on Thursday.
Well, and if people want to suggest a game, I'm open to that too. So
Oh, yeah,
nope.
absolutely.
I've actually friends of mine that at work have.
When does Watch Dogs come out? Silaguara just said Watch Dogs.
Not till
Oh,
May.
May, not till May.
Yeah,
so.
once that
we
comes
should-
out, that's one that
I
we
should-
can
When
we
it
can
comes out.
definitely
Good.
do that one. In fact, that's a good idea. We should take a big game and just go through it all the way.
A lot of people have mentioned to me, and David, you actually mentioned this before, like a FIFA tournament or something like that.
Yeah, I've had that through a few people too. So maybe we'll set something like that up. But all right, everyone, thanks for joining us. Like us on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe to us on iTunes, and please go over to iTunes if you listen to this and subscribe and rate us and leave a review. It helps us out. Thank you, everyone that's done that so far. Remember, we are all Xbox One all the time, and we will see you guys next week.
All right.
Later.